down to the hardware store to see my old friend Bob. I said my roof it leaks, my rug's a mess, and my front door needs a new knob. I got squirrels in my attic, I got bats in my head. Well, Bob just leaned over the counter and he shook his head and said, "You need home repairs and solutions. Home repairs and solutions. They'll fix your windows, they'll fix your house, they'll even tell you how to get rid of a mouse. Home repairs and solutions."
And welcome to the Home Repairs and Solutions Show, brought to you by Spring Mountain Air, your authorized Amana dealer. Your hosts for Home Repairs and Solutions are Mary Pearson and Mark Withers. Now here's Mary and Mark.
Good morning.
Well, good morning.
He did that ventriloquist thing again.
I tell you what, he's getting good at that.
I'm telling you now, he is.
Yeah, Gary is on the ball.
Yep. We have lots of surprises here.
We do.
You just never know what's going to happen on Home Repairs and Solutions. That's for sure.
You never know. You never know. And we want to keep people on the edge of their seat. So you need to really be listening today, because towards the end of the show, we got a great big announcement for you.
Yes, we do.
So just stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. And it's going to be fun.
This will be a fun show. We have lots of fun things to talk about today.
We do.
First of all, it's Friday. That's always fun.
Oh, yes. And the sun is shining finally.
It is.
Holy smokes. What a week around here in the Ozarks.
Yes, it is. I've been wet the last 2 days. Every time I had to go somewhere, that's when it would dump.
I know. I was out on...
And I would just get soaking wet.
Yeah. I was out on one of our jobs yesterday, and I was talking to our painter, and he was grumbling a little bit because, it's so humid.
Yeah.
And all the moisture of the paint wasn't drying and this, that, and the other. But anyway, we're standing there, when I go in, it's not doing anything. And I hear something, I look out, it's absolutely pouring.
And then Summer Springville got hail. We got hail over at the shop.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Got a little bit of hail.
Yeah.
I wasn't there. I had an appointment across town, so that was good. My car didn't get dinged up. So.
Yeah. But, we've had some interesting weather. But like I say, the sun always shines right here at the AM 560 KWTO studios every Friday morning.
It does.
Regardless
especially from 10 to 11.
Outside. That's right. So regardless what it does outside, sun always shines right here.
That's right. And we try to spread sunshine to all of our listeners and make them have a happy day.
That's right, we do.
So hopefully we do a good job of that.
I hope so.
I think we have someone in the audience with us today, or in the studio with us today, that's going to be able to help spread some sunshine to some listeners.
I think so. And, what he does this time of year spreads a little bit of cheer,
It does. It does.
Yeah.
We're coming up on on a happy time of the year, I think.
Uh-huh.
We have just got done with Halloween.
Yep.
Thanksgiving coming up shortly, and
Yep.
then Christmas is just around the corner.
It is.
And, there's lots to do to get ready for all these holidays and stuff, and sometimes you don't have time to do it all yourself.
Well, that seems to be the problem with a lot of us. We get so busy, and not only are you preparing the inside of your house for the holidays, if you got company coming, you're going to fix big meals. You got all that going on. A lot of people do their cleaning inside this time of year, and there's just all kinds of things. So you really don't have the time to properly get outdoors and decorate your house and stuff like you need to. We just get busy.
We do, and then we have lots of social things we want to go to.
Sure.
And then Christmas shopping, which I haven't even thought about, much less started. So that's always kind of a time-consuming issue for a lot of people. So we have someone with us today that's going to help you get through some of this and take some of the stress off of you and make sure that your house is ready for the holidays. And we have Clay Frisbee with us from Holiday Decor. Welcome, Clay.
Thanks for having me on again.
Absolutely. Clay's been with us before, and I like to have him on. He does I think you must have a fun job, because you get to go out and help people decorate their homes for the holidays, and everyone is always happy to get that done. And I don't imagine you have any grumbling customers.
We try not to. There's always a bulb that burns out or something like that that we take care of.
Well, that's true, but you take care of it. It'd be easier to make a phone call and have you come do it than if it was my house for me to get up on a ladder in the snow and the cold and do it. I'd much rather have someone else do that.
Yeah, that's part of the service, is taking care of anything like that, yeah.
Why don't you, for people who haven't heard you before on our show or haven't gone to to listen to you on Mary's List, why don't you kind of just give our listeners an idea of all the things you can do for them for the holidays to help make it a happy, fun time for them?
Okay. The business I have is called Holiday Decor, and we provide a Christmas light service. And we provide the lights and all the labor, and then we put up the lights that people want to do, and then we take that down at the end of the season, and it's all a one cost deal. And it's all exterior lighting that we do. We put lights on the roof. We put them in bushes or whatever they'd like to do. We also do garlands on the outside and wreaths that are lit. And I come out to the house and I draw up whatever it is that people would like, and then I draw it out and then give a price for each thing, and then the service includes us putting up the lights, and we put a timer on there so they don't have to go outside and turn them off and on, and then we maintenance everything during the season, burnt bulbs or problems that come up that you have with Christmas lights, and we just take care of that. And then again at the end of the season we take it down and we store all that away, and for the next season, if they call us, we have all that information ready. And it's real easy. We just come out there and do the same thing if they want, or add something or subtract something. We do hundreds of homes here in Springfield. Been doing them for 14 years.
Do you do commercial buildings as well?
We do some, yeah.
Do you do some commercial as well? Okay, because I know that there's some commercial people that do like big wreaths or lights or something like that on their commercial buildings, or some of the strip centers, will put some additional lighting and different things up, or restaurants during the holidays, they'll put different things up. And one of them that comes to mind is Justice Jeweler. They always put tons of lights in their trees and all that type of thing at Christmas, and it always looks real pretty. So I didn't know if you did commercial as well. I knew you did a lot of residential. Now, the lights and stuff, do you provide those, or does the homeowner need to provide what they want, or how does that work?
How we do it, and it works best we found the customers and ourselves, is that we provide the lights.
Okay.
Whatever it is that we need, we provide it as part of the service and the package, and that way we're able to take care of it and store it and do what we need to do with it, or replace bulbs and things like that, instead of mixing our own supplies with customers.
Well, that makes sense. And that way, if they want to change out something, instead of buying new lights every year like we did, I don't know. Every time something new come out, we thought we had to have it. So we just had lights, buckets and buckets of lights. So and then they just get all tangled up, and then half of them don't work.
I'll string mine all out, and I'll goof around. I'll step on them or something,
Break one. And,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. All those fun Christmas memories. Yeah, we did all that stuff, too. Or we'd have the kids help us, and there was always, something would get messed up somewhere. But so is there anything in the lighting area for holidays this year? Are they coming up with anything new? We had the icicle lights, and then it seems like they come up with new stuff. Is there a lot of LED stuff on the market for Christmas yet, or?
There's a lot of LED. We haven't been using a lot of it.
Okay.
We still use a lot of the incandescent, but you always have something new every year, it seems like. The icicles and the LEDs, and some of them have problems. What turns out, and so people kind of don't keep using them.
Sure.
They kind of lots of times you see people going back to the old standard things.
I was gonna say, are the incandescent usually the best to work with outside because of the moisture of the water? I don't know.
They work good. The wire and stuff that comes with them that we use, it just seems more reliable.
I see.
That we have.
Okay.
And they put out good light.
Yeah, they do. They do. I always like to drive around and see everybody's decorations and stuff at Christmas. It just makes you feel good.
Sure, it does.
Makes you feel happy. And I know there's some neighborhoods that the whole neighborhoods get involved and make their whole neighborhood look really good.
Oh yeah, there is. I've noticed that. And happy, happy, happy. Is that what we say?
Happy, happy, happy. Well, I live down at the lake, and so a lot of my neighbors aren't there at Christmas time because they winterize their houses and stuff. And so there's just, a handful of us that are there year round. So there's not a whole lot of decorating goes on around in my neighborhood down there. But I do enjoy driving in and or going home later in the evening, and I go different routes and stuff just so I can see the lights and what people have done and decorate things and all that. Do you do a lot with? Are people doing very much with as far as their lighting, and do they put music to it? Do you do anything like that?
I haven't done anything like that.
No?
I haven't done like the putting the music together with it. We do we do lots and lots of homes, and we don't do. I think what you're talking about would be like a large home, extremely large home where you have the music synced with the lights.
with
and
the
stuff.
Yeah.
lights
I
and
haven't
stuff,
done
yeah.
that.
You haven't?
No,
Okay.
no.
I don't know if I don't know if
fun.
many people do that.
I know there's one or two here in Springfield
Yeah.
that do that.
Do they?
And you can even when you drive by, they'll have a sign out there tell you where to turn your. They'll have a real low wattage
Right.
transmitter, so you
Yeah.
can turn your car radio and hear the music and
Oh,
see
how
the lights.
neat.
Yeah, it's kind of a neat deal.
I think that
So-
would be kind of something fun
Yeah.
to do. You
Yeah.
know.
I don't know if they make lights that'll work off banjo music or not.
Well, I think you get tired of standing there playing. You'd have to take a break, and then the lights
Well,
would
yeah.
quit working,
And the lights quit working.
and it would just wouldn't work right, Mark. I don't know.
yeah, that's true.
But you know that
Just a
would be
thought.
something new and out of the ordinary. That's for sure.
It might scare people off.
Well,
I hear a banjo, run.
no, I don't think that would happen at all. So, is now a good time if people want to do that, and is now a good time for them to think about getting this going and getting this started? I mean, you do several hundred houses, so you know, I would think that if people want you to come out or if they want some help with this, they would need to be calling you now.
Yeah, right now is a great time because we got Thanksgiving coming up, and right after Thanksgiving, when most people light their lights up, and we've been already working for the last 3 weeks putting up Christmas lights because, like I said, we have many customers been with us for years, and they contact us early, and they get a little discount for that. We put their lights up and get it all ready to go so that it's not a last minute thing. And of course, I only have so many workers that can do so much at a certain time.
Oh,
so
sure.
it spreads it out good for everybody, and of course, going out to look at the home takes time, and so it's really nice to be starting doing it now, so we have plenty of time instead of a last minute rush.
Well, and and I know some people are probably thinking, well, I don't want to do that yet. I want to get through Thanksgiving and everything first. That's okay. You can go ahead and have your lights and everything done. You don't have to turn them on
Yeah.
until after Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So you're already ready to go. You can go ahead and have Clay come out, do your design, talk to him about what you want to have done, get everything installed, enjoy your Thanksgiving, and then you've got that part of the Christmas rush already done, and then you can just relax and enjoy the holidays.
That's right.
And whenever you're ready, turn your lights on, and you're good to go. Do you ever... Do you have any weather issues that might keep you from being able to install anything? Can you install if it's raining? I don't know. I'm thinking you're out there with electricity. I'm thinking, I don't know if it's raining. That might not be a good
we
thing.
put them up in the rain. We don't like to. I mean, they've been working some this week. What I was thinking of when you said about doing it early, one of the things is say if they contacted me at Thanksgiving and they want the lights up and they want them up, as quickly as possible because the season's going. And,
Sure.
And of course, if we get hit with an ice storm or we get 6 inches of snow, then my guys can't get out on roofs and work.
Right.
So then, the installing would be, put further out, which, so that's another reason why it helps to put them up early and have them
Sure.
ready to go and all that because the inclement, because of the cold, it's going to get colder and then ice and snow is a problem because you can't use ladders.
I would, that's what I was thinking. So if you if you want to have that done, I don't see anything wrong with getting it done now. And then it's up and done.
That's right.
And you're ready to go.
Because I tell you, I ain't getting out on no roof. I don't care if it's 70 degrees and sunny.
I don't get on roofs
I'm not
either.
going to get on no roof.
I don't either.
So, but that's why you want to call these guys. Probably one of the stupidest things I've ever done, and I've done a lot of stupid things, let me tell you. But one of the stupidest is I was out putting Christmas lights up one time, and it was sleeting so hard, it was hitting me in the face, and I couldn't even hardly see. And here I am out there on a ladder, and I mean, I had it extended all the way, and I'm up the
And
top
stretching
of it,
as far as you
stretching
can.
as
No,
far as
that
I
ain't
can,
good.
and it's sleeting and carrying on, and I'm like, this is just not very smart.
No, it's not.
And now I'm sure there's other people out there just like me that's probably got out and decided, I'm going to put my lights up, and they did. Then they regret it. I'm sure there's been a lot of people wind up in emergency rooms because of.
There probably, I'm sure there has been.
Sure.
You hear of people, accidents
Yeah.
and stuff all the time around the holidays, or maybe they're trying to get it done too
Yeah.
quickly because
Sure.
they're cold or whatever.
And another thing that a lot of people don't think about I've almost done it myself, just not thinking, and I know better. You get the ladder up there, and you get to goofing around. If you got an older home, it's got overhead, power lines coming into the house.
Yes.
You have to be really careful. There's some things that you really have to watch for. Well, when you call Clay and his folks, they're aware of all that.
Right.
And so the safety part on your end is definitely not an issue, and they know what they're doing. And so that's another factor, another good reason to call them.
That's right. It's much better for you to be in the house drinking your hot chocolate than sitting in the emergency room because you broke your leg.
That's right.
Falling off the roof.
That's right.
So I don't think they serve hot chocolate in the emergency room, but I'm not sure.
I've not seen it, not that I remember, and I've been there a few times. So, but speaking of calling Clay or calling us, we need to give our numbers out.
We do. We do.
You can get a hold of us at 862-9977, 1-800-375-0056, or if you want to send us a text, you can do that at 417-838-3192. We would love to hear from you. If you got a question for Clay or me or you, we'll talk about anything.
We will.
And once again, we got big news coming up towards the end of the show about the oldest hottie.
We have the winner. We're going to announce
Yeah.
the winner later on in the
So-
show, so
so-
you want to make sure you stay tuned
Yep,
for that.
that's right. So,
Especially if you entered, you want to make sure you want to find out if it was you or not. So I think we even have some sound effects maybe to go with it this year.
yeah, we might. I think Gary brought his drums.
I think
or
Gary
something.
might have
Yeah.
a drum roll or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, that got him moving, didn't it?
Boy, it did. Yeah.
Put him on the spot.
Yeah, it woke him up over there. So be sure and stay. But we would love to hear from you, and no matter what your question. But we are talking holidays. We're talking Christmas lights, decorating your house, and it does. It makes you feel good.
It does.
It's a part of a little bit of joy that people bring to the world when they decorate and put their Christmas lights up and everything. I know I do. I love driving around just look at Christmas
I do too.
lights.
I do too. I really enjoy that, and I like going to Silver Dollar City because of just to
yes.
look at the lights.
Yeah.
I don't really, if I don't do anything else but look at the lights, I just really enjoy that. So
Yeah.
I hats off to people who do all that and get all that done. And if I lived in a neighborhood where it was more conducive and people could see it, I would be more apt to do that. But
Yeah.
I just am not in one of those neighborhoods where there's a lot of traffic or I'd have anyone see it but me.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll
Yeah.
just do it for me. You never know.
That's a good reason.
Just do it for
do it
me.
for you.
There we go.
That's right.
There we
That's
go.
right. So
Yeah, if you're someone who likes lights, go ahead and do it for yourself. That's
Yep.
okay too.
sure is.
Well, Clay, we haven't had you give out your phone number yet, so why don't you give out your number so people can write it down? I know some people are going to either have questions after the show or going to want to get a hold of you to get a design plan and some lighting up. So how can they do that?
Okay. If they call 417-881-1141, I've got someone at the office that can take their information, and then they'll give that back to me, and I can go out and look at their house.
What we haven't talked about this, but how big of an area do you service? I mean, do you go down into the Branson area, or do you not go that far? What do you do for
we
lighting?
don't go quite that far. Like,
Okay, for lighting, yeah.
Ozark, Nixa,
Okay.
Butchersville.
So just kind of Springfield and the little
yeah.
bedroom communities around Springfield is what you service for lighting.
Yes.
Okay. Because I can see that if you were doing too much traveling, then I don't think there'd be enough hours in the day
There wouldn't be.
between now and when people wanted all that done. So if you live in the Springfield area or some of the little communities around Springfield, then you're in Clay's service area, and he'll be happy to come out and visit with you and get your house looking happy for Christmas.
That's right. I tell you what, it's going to be here before we know it too. We, as I was saying earlier, we get busy and we forget about things, and bam, before we know it, here it is.
Isn't it like 7 weeks from now or something like that?
Something like that,
It's really,
yeah. I mean,
it's like
it's just-
less
yeah.
than 2 months.
Yeah.
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 So it's going to be very, very quick. And if someone gives you a call and wants you to come out and maybe design a plan for them, maybe they're not sure what they want to do, but they want you to come out and do something for them. Are you able to get to that pretty quickly? Can you get to someone with like in a couple days to do a design plan for them? Or are
Normally,
you
yeah. I mean,
in
of course,
about
it depends on, if they call right around Thanksgiving, I'm a
Yeah.
little busier, but
Yeah.
I normally try to get out there within a couple of days.
So if they called you today, you could be there, by next Monday or Tuesday.
Yeah.
Okay. So I know sometimes people think, well, if he's that busy, maybe he can't get to me. But you do have a crew who does the installation and stuff for you.
Yes, yeah.
So you're not having to do it all by yourself. So you can go out and visit with people and help them work up a plan. How tall of a tree will you put lights in?
Uh,
Do you have a bucket truck? I mean, how do you? I
No.
always wonder how people get those lights in those really tall trees. It's like how do you do that?
well, there's several different several different ways to do it. We use like long extension poles.
Oh, okay, okay,
That gets us up way high into the trees.
okay.
We do some. I don't like to do too many of them, but I got some where I have some guys that like to climb trees, and they get way up into the trees.
Oh,
and
wow.
Toss them out of there, and they
Yeah.
kind of look like fountains.
Yeah. Wow.
Um,
Because I think those look really neat, but I can never figure. I'm thinking, how did they get them up there?
Mhm.
This tree's like 30 foot in the air or whatever.
Oh yeah, I've always wondered that too. How
Yeah.
to do that?
I'm like, do you bring a bucket truck or what are you doing? I didn't know how you did that, but
you can do it. I've done it with bucket trucks.
Have ya?
We mainly try to use poles because
Yeah.
we have to get in yards and things like that, and it can be wet, and you don't.
Oh
want
yeah,
to
you
tear
don't
up the
want.
lawns
Yeah,
and,
sure.
And then, like I said, I have several rock climbers that are good at getting up in the trees.
Well, there we go.
Yeah.
Get a rock climber and have him shimmy up the tree and put your lights up for you. There you go. I wouldn't
Yeah.
have thought of that, but
Oh,
I
yeah,
bet they'll be
that's a
good
good
at. They'd
idea.
be good at that.
Yeah, I bet
Sure
so.
would. Not your small children though. Do not have your small children climb
No,
up in the tree
no,
and try and put the lights in. 'Cause
Yeah, exactly.
Then you have other issues.
Yep,
but
that's true. That is true. I heard a little bit of music. You know what that means?
it means Gary's going to shut us off
He is.
for a break.
Yep,
That's
right.
how he is.
I know it. Isn't it something? We'll be right back with more of Home Repairs and Solutions right after this. Now, if you've got a problem and you don't know what to do, your siding's going bad and you're plagued with green mildew. Well, your faucets, they all drip and your sinks are all clogged up too. Well, there's no need to worry. I'll tell you what you can do. Just call Home Repairs and Solutions. Home Repairs and Solutions. They'll fix your windows, they'll fix your house. They'll even tell you how to get rid of a mouse. Home Repairs and Solutions.
Here's news on the Ozarks News Network. A Missouri prison inmate has confessed to murdering a Hollister woman. Philip Dodd admitted he killed Rebecca Sutton in March of 2003. Sutton's remains were found in eastern Taney County in the Mark Twain National Forest. Dodd is currently serving a 14-year sentence for robbery. He was a person of interest from the beginning of the investigation. Springfield police are looking for a man who shot and wounded another man in the hallway of an apartment building in the 800 block of South Jefferson. 22-year-old Claude Schuler was taken to the hospital with a single gunshot wound to the stomach. And a Springfield woman is in the Greene County Jail after allegedly trying to rob a Hobby Lobby store with a knife. Police say 30-year-old Katie Medler is charged with first-degree robbery and armed criminal action. Medler allegedly shoplifted more than $70 worth of merchandise from the Hobby Lobby on West Kearney, then threatened store employees with a knife when confronted in the parking lot. For the Ozarks News Network, I'm Arlen Summers.
And join us for America's First News, Monday through Saturday at 6:05 a.m. on the Wall Street Journal this morning on AM 560 KWTO.
Hey, parents, when was the last time you had a good, uninterrupted conversation with your kids? Without them staring at their smartphones, something like that. Well, Outdoor Home has a solution. It's called a fire pit. Here's all you do. You stop by Outdoor Home, pick out your favorite fire pit, and tonight after dinner, have the entire family come out back, sit around the fire pit, and talk. I mean, really talk. And all it takes is a new fire pit from Outdoor Home in Springfield and in Nixa. Outdoor Home, where outdoor living is always in.
For small businesses, reaching customers can be a challenge. Everyone searches differently. And to reach people and generate leads, you've got to be smarter than ever. That's why YP, formerly AT&T Advertising Solutions, offers a full suite of advertising products to help you reach more customers. With mobile, online, print, and direct solutions, we'll custom tailor a plan that's right for you. Call our local media consultants at 1-800-438-7325 and we'll help you get started today. YP.
Join the Missouri State University Pride Bands, the Choral Ensemble, and special guest speaker Jim Bohannon in a musical salute to our veterans Sunday, November 10th at 4 p.m. at the Juanita K. Hammonds Hall for the Performing Arts. Presented by Eric and Pat Seckler, American Dehydrated Foods, and Meyer Communications. Aliens aren't coming, the government isn't watching your every move, and Honey Boo Boo just isn't that important. Don't get scared. Get prepared with Bob Gaskin on the Black Dog Survival Hour, Tuesday afternoon at 3 on KWTO AM 560. No conspiracies, just the facts. It's a fun, fast-paced, informative hour you won't want to miss. The Black Dog Survival Hour with Bob Gaskin, Tuesdays at 3 p.m. on KWTO AM 560. The talk of the Ozarks.
Sunny throughout the day, high 64. Then for tonight, remaining clear, low 40. Mostly sunny and cooler tomorrow, high 53. And partly sunny Sunday, high 57. Cloudy and breezy Monday with a couple of showers, high 60. And periods of rain Tuesday, high 60 as well. I'm AccuWeather's Jeremy Pearson.
It's 53 degrees at AM 560 KWTO.
Well, I went down to the hardware store to see my old friend Bob. I said my roof it leaks, my rug's a mess, and my front door needs a new knob. I got squirrels in my attic, I got bats in my head. Well, Bob just leaned over the counter and he shook his head and said, "You need home repairs and solutions. Home repairs and solutions. They'll fix your windows, they'll fix your house, they'll even tell you how to get rid of a mouse. Home repairs and solutions."
And welcome back to Home Repairs and Solutions with Mary and Mark. And if you have a home repair question, or if you have a question about outdoor lighting, this is your chance. Call in 862-9977 or out of the area 1-800-375-0056. Or if you want to text, you can call
417-838-3192.
If you don't want to be seen on the radio, you can send us a text.
That's right. If you're shy,
You're shy.
like me and Mary.
Yeah, well, I've never been told that.
Me neither. You know, I was
Been told other things, but not that.
Yeah, I was talking to a guy yesterday, and we was talking about playing music, and he said, he said when I get on stage, he said I have this fear. He said he's a drummer, and he said I have to literally hide behind the drums where I can't see nobody out there.
Oh my!
And he said it just bothers me so bad, and I'm like, well, then you probably don't need to be doing it, you know.
No kidding.
But I said, of course, I grew up doing that kind of stuff, and I said I'm just as comfortable in front of 5,000 as I am 5, probably more comfortable. And but it's funny. But what made me think of that is on the break, Clay was talking about going up the ladders. Well, it's every day to him. He climbs the ladders right up on the roof, and does his thing. But some of the people that might be following you may not be that comfortable, and they get up there and they're like, "Oh no, what have I done here? I can't get down now," So
yeah, getting up's not the problem.
Yeah.
It's that first step into air, trying to find that ladder, trying to get off, that panics me.
Yeah.
I can't.
So that is a good reason right there to call him. To call
Absolutely. Then you don't have to worry about it.
Clay. Yeah.
And at the break, we were talking to Clay. For those of you who might have just tuned in, we're talking with Clay Frisbee here of Holiday Decor. And he was saying that some of his clients come from homeowners who have tried to do that and have actually fallen off their roofs and been hurt.
Yeah.
And so then they call him and he comes and does their lighting, now. So if you have fallen off the roof in the past, don't do that again. I'm sure that the emergency room bill was not cheap, and it probably wasn't any fun for the holidays either. So just give Clay a call and him come out and do your lighting for you. Now, can you put lights on all the roofs, or is there any certain roofs you can't do? Like, I'm thinking the tile roofs. What do you do with those? If someone has a clay tile roof, how do you put lights on those?
Well, the clips, like for the larger lights that we put on top of the roofs or the fascia of the house where we put them a lot, we have like plastic clips, and the tile is the most difficult. Where they have the gutters, they clip on just fine.
Oh,
They
I
look
see.
great.
Oh,
and good.
okay.
But as far as getting up on the roof and doing what we call the ridge rows, I don't usually do that if it's a tile roof, because you don't want to really walk on top of those. So we're
Right,
able to
because
put
they could be
lights-
damaged,
Yeah.
right? You could break them and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
So okay.
We put lights on the gutters, which is the fascia, and then not on the top part of the house.
Okay.
We do that quite a bit.
Okay. Okay. We have a caller.
Yes, we do. Let's talk to Ed in Nixa. Go ahead, Ed.
Hey, girls and guys.
Hey.
Howdy.
You were hitting on a spot. I was just sitting here listening to it. But I got to 60 years old, and it was close. I couldn't go on the roof.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I just couldn't. I mean, a 50 or a 40-foot ladder.
Oh my.
It just scared me to death. Or changed. I worked for an apartment complex,
Uh-huh.
and I'd go up there, and I was scared to death.
Yeah.
I'm scared to
Yes.
death. I'm one shorter than that.
Well, no, I could do it. I could put it in a corner and tie it off, on the gutters. But I could not. And when you hit on that one, I'm 66 now.
Uh-huh.
But you couldn't beat me hard enough to get up on that roof. You couldn't.
I'm right there with you, Ed.
You couldn't do it. I mean, I just couldn't. I got so fearful,
Right.
And 20 foot was a stretch at 60. And then I'd go up there, and he was talking about ridge rows and stuff and coming down. And I had a friend that was 70, and he got up there, and he walked around, he looked at everything when we bid the roofs. But, I mean, to you, I couldn't do it, I couldn't do it. I mean, there ain't nobody can beat me hard enough to get on that roof again. I live here.
Well, that's good that you know that, Ed.
Well, yeah, I mean, you fall off of there and you break something at my age, it's broke.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
the
true.
recovery time's a little longer than if you're 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's for sure. Well,
I was going to ask you another question about that chip. What's that do? Cycle everything, and I've been heating air for 40 years, but what's that do? Just cycle a fan off, cycle a compressor.
What it does is it reads the way your heating and air conditioning system operates,
Right.
and then it extends the fan long enough to expel either all the hot or the cold air out of your ductwork back into your home, and it takes out that short cycle.
Okay. I had my thermostat replaced the other day. I called a maintenance man, and of course I used to be one. And when I'd turn the heat on, the air conditioner come on.
Oh, that ain't good.
No.
That does happen occasionally, though.
Well, I know, but it was a digital thermostat, and he said, I don't have one. And I said, just put a mechanical on there. I don't care as long as I got heat.
Right, as long as you know how to operate it and it'll work for you, you bet. Not everyone likes digital. Most people do, but not everyone does. You just don't go back to a mercury thermostat.
No. And
you probably don't want one of those anymore.
Well, I think most of them are contacts now, what I used to.
Yeah, they are, yeah.
Yeah, and there was a few of them that still in here in mercury. But, what do you do with it? Roll it up and stuff it under the pillow? I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good question. That's a good question.
Yeah, I don't know what you do with them or where you take them, but when I was here, most of them were mercury.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So anyway, it was just kind of cute when he touched on it that, I'm too damned old to get on a roof.
That's a good point to make right there, Ed.
I live on the bottom floor in this apartment, and I didn't even have a trick-or-treater last night, which really...
Oh.
Well...
Didn't I sat here in the chair and watched my movies and stuff, and I said, well...
So did you get to... So are you going to eat all your candy?
No, there was a couple girls went by this afternoon, and I said, trick or treat. And I put a bunch out on the table out in front of my patio.
Well, there you go.
I said, trick or treat. She says, I'll take it.
Yeah.
I like your program. I really do. If I still had my house in Ozark, I'd definitely have him help me with it, or you.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you.
Thanks for listening, Ed.
I had one of those, and you've been around a couple days. And I've been in it 40 years, but I had one of those Lennox Pulse.
Yes.
Oh, that was miserable.
That's, yes.
I mean, the
Sometimes
flappers-
manufacturers come up with lemons occasionally, that's for sure.
Well, I had the lemon.
Yeah, well, yeah, a few other people did too, Ed.
You know, that pulse was I had always changed the flappers, clean it. You know, it worked for a while, and then, you know, it sounded like a damn groundhog in the floor.
Yeah, they did.
So, hey, I'll get off here. I've talked to you too long, but I just love your show, and I listen to it every week, and if I can ever help you or something, you know, like I say, I did heating and air conditioning 40 years and refrigeration, so.
All righty, Ed. Well, we appreciate
I know where
you.
it's at.
We appreciate you listening, buddy.
All right, buddy.
Thanks
Be
for the
careful.
call.
All righty. Let's talk to Jared here in Springfield. Go ahead, Jared.
Good morning, guys.
Hey,
How are
good
you?
morning. How are you?
Doing all right. Telling roof stories this morning. I got one
yeah.
for you.
Okay.
I went out to evaluate a roof. Now, this has been many years ago. I was a lot leaner back then. And it was a windy day, light aluminum ladder. I was on the roof, and I heard something. My ladder had blowed down.
Oh, no.
And the owners of the home wasn't there.
Uh-oh.
And so I walked around the roof for a while waiting to see someone. No one ever came out of the house or anything. So I started looking. I looked for the highest ground I could. And I jumped off that house.
Oh, dear.
And I planned it, you know, so I could hit and roll. And no problems, no problem. I made it. But like I said, that was many years ago. I was a lot later. But I did step off one run too many of a step ladder on one of my rental houses. Now, that laid me up for a while. That wasn't too long ago. So
yeah.
Yeah, those ladders will get you. That's for sure.
And the winners this year, I believe I know that couple. And Mark, I don't know. You may know him.
Well, now don't give it away on us yet, now, Jared.
Okay.
So,
We haven't announced
we
it
haven't
yet on
announced
the
it,
air.
so-
I know. But
So hold on.
I'm a thinking Mark may know him.
Okay, well, I'm anxious to find out because I don't know yet either. Mary hadn't revealed that,
Okay.
so.
It's a
Well, you know,
secret.
and I tell you what, I'm tickled to death for him. So,
All right. Well,
so
great.
you all have a good day, and I appreciate your show too.
Well, thank you,
you.
Jared.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Jarrett.
it. I've known Jared for many years.
Oh, I
and,
kind of figured you must know
yeah,
who that was.
I recommended him for lots of. Matter of fact, he even did quite a bit of stuff for us around our Remax office and
Did he?
stuff. A wonderful person. He
Well,
really
you know, he
is.
brought up a point I didn't think about, the ladder blowing over.
Yeah, that is a good
And
point.
then that would not be fun, especially if it was cold and windy or whatever, and then
Yeah.
your ladder falls down and there you
oh
are.
boy, there you are, stuck up there.
Of course, I know we have cell phones today. I guess if you got your cell phone, you could call somebody.
Yeah, of course.
911 or something. I don't know.
You know, of course, back then, you know, when Jared, like he said, when he was doing it, you know, probably didn't have cell phones, you know, and that hadn't been that many years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I tell you what, another dumb thing I did real quick. I put an attic ladder in my garage one time, and I got up in there and I got the ladder in backwards somehow, and it wouldn't open, and I couldn't get out. I was stuck up in the attic. And so here I am stuck up there.
I'm not sure I told that one.
And naturally, I mean, what's the one thing you got to do when you can't?
Oh, yeah.
Go to the bathroom.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
So
you were
here
just in
I
a
am.
pickle.
So I had to take that ladder out, uninstall it, and while I was up there, and get it back up in the hole and turn it around so I could get down.
Oh, for crying out loud.
Because there wasn't nobody home.
Well, of course
You know,
not.
No,
There never
no,
is when those
because-
things happen.
So just a better reason to call a professional.
Absolutely. Don't find yourself in one of these messes.
No.
It's just not worth it.
Not worth it.
It's not worth it. And, you know, Clay's been doing it for, you said, about 14 years now.
Yes, 14 years.
Has a lot of repeat clients that you work with year after year, I'm sure.
Yes.
And has room for some more. Can take on some new clients. So if you're thinking about decorating your house, doing some outside lighting and different things like that, or if you don't have a plan, he can put one together for you. I imagine you probably do as extensive a lighting as they want to, or just like something simple, like just around the eaves of the
Yes, yeah,
roof.
something as
So
simple as
it's
doing
just
eaves, yeah.
you don't have to get really elaborate with it. If you just want to do something simple, he'll do that for you as well. If you want to get elaborate, you know, like the Christmas Story with the Griswolds or whatever, and all that kind of stuff, he can probably get pretty elaborate. That might be a little over the top for most people, but you know, you can kind of customize it to what you want, and let him help you. And you can help with the design and the plan, and then just sit back and watch him do all the work. Sounds like a great idea.
You know, something that, especially if folks are building a new house, we hadn't done this till we just built a custom out here in Wallhorse for some folks. They wanted receptacles put up in the eaves for Christmas lights.
Yep.
Is that a good thing? Does that help you when people think to do that?
That does help because it's the main thing. It's a dedicated circuit,
right?
And when we have a dedicated circuit, then we're not tied to anything in the house. So it does make a huge deal because sometimes you have a house and I'm running the what is it, the hair dryer. And maybe that hair dryer is connected to the same circuit that's on the outside receptacle. Of course,
right.
We don't know. Yeah. And so it makes the lights go out. And so we have to we go back out the home and we find a way around it. But those things, they really do help with that because it's a dedicated circuit used just for the Christmas lights, and it makes it work a lot better.
We actually put those in our daughter's house when we built her house. I don't think I have them in mine, but I don't put lights up anyway like that. But yeah, my daughter has them in her house. I think my son has them in his house. So yeah, that is a great feature, I think.
Oh,
makes things so much better.
And you know, probably if you're really big on exterior illumination, you could probably have an electrician come out and run you a circuit because that would be a pretty easy one to do. You know, normally your panel, well, unless it's a real old house, but a lot of them's in the garage, so it's pretty easy access. And you could probably run you a dedicated circuit for that. And boy, that would be nice to have.
And that's the main thing. It's the dedicated circuit.
Right.
Make as big a difference. It's in the eaves, but just that there's a dedicated circuit outside that's not tied to other power usage in the house.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Hadn't thought about that, but
Seeing lots of that actually in the newer homes. We do.
Yeah.
We run into lots of that.
Well, these folks wanted it, and we even switched it. So they have a switch inside. They can turn their lights, Christmas lights on and off, you know, if they don't want to put them on a timer. Yeah. So yeah, it works real neat. So, you know, I want to touch real quick before we run out of time. You know, you do the, you know, your Christmas lighting and everything for this time of year, but it's not like you just sit around the rest of the year and not do anything. You also have another business.
Yes, I do. I have the Glass Guru that we repair glass units where they get moisture in them and replace glass. We replace windows. Everything that has to do with windows we work on.
Matter of fact, before we went on today, I was sitting talking to you, and you're going to go bid a house for me.
Yes,
and with some replacement windows and some glass and stuff.
So if you're putting up your lights and you fall through the window,
there you go. Yeah.
Call Clay. He'll fix the window and put your lights up.
Put your lights up.
Yep.
Yeah.
So there we go. We can take care of all of it with one phone call. And what is that number again, Clay?
It's 417-881-1141.
So see, you can take care of it all right there.
There we go.
That's it.
The best thing is just call him first, and then you don't have to deal with all those other issues. That would be the easiest thing to do.
That would be.
That's
by
what
far.
I'm thinking. Keep it simple.
Keep it
Let
simple.
someone else do it.
Let somebody else do it.
Let the professional handle it for you.
Yeah. Yeah. And now if somebody would call you in July or August, say, you know, really been thinking about this. I want to get my house ready for the holidays. Will you go out and do one then?
Yeah, I usually get a couple calls in August, and yeah, it's nice to get ahead of the ball. And
oh yeah,
sure. Like you said, you don't have to turn them on.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I have customers, you know, previous customers who moved to new homes, and they call me and say, hey, you know, we want to do lights again, and we're thinking about how we want to do the electrical needs, like what you talked about, and then also I bid it, and so it's all done way before the season. And
there you go. Yeah. It's never too early to get ready for Christmas.
That's right.
I think last time I told like one of the little secrets to Christmas lights that everybody has problems with is mini lights, how they get tangled up.
Yeah.
Just a horrible mess. And one of the things that makes it easier to store those, one of our little trade secrets is you make them into balls. You take the plug and you wrap it around your fingers, and you keep wrapping it around in circles, so you make this like baseball size thing of Christmas lights, and you can store those, and it's the best way to store them. It keeps them so they get tangled and things.
I do remember you talking about that last time. Now, I thought that was a great idea because I've never done that. Mine just get wadded up and then they're a mess. And
Yeah.
Knotted up and whatever.
Now, if a person's going to go buy their own lights, what can you tell them? What advice can you give them to look for so they don't get something that's dangerous? Or, I mean, everything I know is supposed to be UL approved probably and all this and that. But, you know, can they get lights that was intended for indoors and accidentally put them outdoors? And I mean, is there things to look at like that you don't want to do?
Well, Well, there is some misconceptions about the outdoors and cords and things, and what you got to remember with Christmas lights is they don't have that extra ground light on them like you do. So actually, the cords aren't as important as you would think. You don't have to necessarily have that extra ground because it doesn't have it in the Christmas lights.
Right.
Which means you can get shocked if you're out there touching them. So the cords. So necessarily buying really expensive cords isn't going to help with the Christmas lights.
Okay.
Because they're not grounded.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Of course, you still have to. You don't want to put too much power on a Christmas light. That's where people can run into problems where they hook a whole bunch of Griswold stuff and they put it on a little bitty cord that's not made to handle that, and that cord's going to get hot. So got to watch that.
Yeah, you don't want to burn your house down.
Don't want to burn the house down.
That wouldn't be any fun at all.
That's how you burn them down.
Yeah.
You overload like the wire.
Yeah, sure, you bet.
Yeah.
Well, we're just about to run out of time.
We are.
So I think we're probably going to announce the oldest hottie winner.
I think we better. Do we have some drum roll?
We have a drum roll.
All right, Gary's getting with it over there.
He is.
Okay, go for it.
Ding. And the oldest hottie winner this year is Corey Taylor.
Corey Taylor.
Corey Taylor and her husband. Congratulations to them. They had a furnace from 1952.
Really?
1952.
Wow.
So my son went over there this morning. He's going to talk to him about it. We'll see if it works out for them. We're going to put that in for them on Monday. They'll have a brand new furnace. We're really excited about having them win. I want to say thank you to everyone who entered. We never know who's going to win. It just depends on the entries and the age of the furnace and stuff. We do have some people call and say, mine's this old. Am I going to win? Well, I don't know. I don't know because I don't know how many entries there's going to be till the end of the contest. But it was a fun contest again. We got to talk to a lot of really nice people. There's going to be some letters going out today to everyone who entered, thanking them for entering. And so I just wanted to say thank you to everyone for doing that. And congratulations again to the Taylors for being our winner this year.
Yes. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And thank you to Spring Mountain Air for doing what you guys do.
Well, thanks.
I think that's very important. We talk about local businesses and how important it is to our area, and you guys are just right at the top of the list right there for what you all do.
Well, thanks, Mark.
Well, Spring Mountain Air, not only, do you do the oldest hottie, you're involved in the Breast Cancer Foundation of the Ozarks. You do a lot of stuff there. And so I encourage folks to visit Spring Mountain Air for all your heating and air needs because that's really, really neat and important what you guys do.
Well, thanks, Mark. I appreciate that.
You're sure welcome.
And you know what this weekend is?
What's this weekend?
You got to change your clocks back.
That's right, you do.
So
time change.
Don't forget to change your clocks back. You'll get an extra hour of sleepy time on Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
Or putting up light time or whatever it is you're going to do.
Yeah, that's right. So.
You have an extra hour to call Clay.
Yeah, there you go. That's for sure. And speaking of calling Clay, your number one more time?
417-881-1141.
Great having you on today.
Thanks. It's fun.
Well, it's that time.
It's that time.
This is Home Repairs and Solutions with Mary and Mark. We're known as the Buck and Roy of the Ozarks.
We are.
Lester and Earl, or the Porter and Dolly, or Loretta and Conway, whatever we are.
Just
we're
pick
here.
two.
That's right. We're heard every Friday morning right here on AM 560 KWTO. Just call Home Repairs and Solutions. Home Repairs and Solutions. They'll fix your windows, they'll fix your house. They'll even tell you how to get rid of a mouse. Home Repairs and Solutions.